December 16, 1944. The Ardennes forest was shrouded in mist, snow crunched underfoot. A deceptive silence hung in the air. Then the roar of artillery shattered the peace. Operation Wacht am Rhein, Hitler's last gamble, had begun. The German offensive, codenamed Watch on the Rhine, aimed to split the Allied lines. Their objective was Antwerp, a crucial port for Allied supplies. The Ardennes, considered a quiet sector, offered the element of surprise. The attack, launched with terrifying ferocity, caught the Allies completely off guard. The initial German assault was devastating. American units, outnumbered and outgunned, fought desperately. But the German army, fueled by desperation and fanaticism, pushed forward relentlessly. The Battle of the Bulge, a conflict destined to become the largest and bloodiest battle fought by the United States in World War II, had begun. Adolf Hitler staked everything on this one desperate offensive, a gamble that would determine the fate of his regime and the future of Europe. His armies were reeling on both fronts, struggling to hold their ground against relentless enemy advances. The Western Allies were advancing from the west, liberating town after town as they pushed forward. The Soviets were closing in from the east, their momentum seemingly unstoppable as they marched through Eastern Europe. The Ardennes Offensive was a last-ditch attempt to stave off defeat, a bold move that Hitler hoped would turn the tide of the war. Hitler's plan hinged on the element of surprise and the speed of the advance, aiming to catch the Allies off guard. He believed that a decisive blow could shatter Allied morale and force a negotiated peace, altering the course of the conflict. The Führer envisioned his panzer divisions racing through the Ardennes, crossing the Meuse River and capturing the vital port of Antwerp, a strategic objective that would cripple the Allied supply lines. The German High Command had serious doubts about the feasibility of the plan, questioning its chances of success. The plan was overly ambitious, relying on capturing Allied fuel depots to keep their tanks moving, a risky and uncertain proposition. The winter weather hampered movement, and the Luftwaffe, Germany's air force, was a shadow of its former self, unable to provide the necessary air support. Nonetheless, driven by desperation and a blind faith in their Führer, the Wehrmacht prepared for battle, ready to execute Hitler's audacious plan despite the overwhelming odds against them. The small town of St. Vith, Belgium, lay in the path of the German advance. Unbeknownst to the Germans, St. Vith held strategic importance. It stood at a critical crossroads, commanding vital roads leading to the Meuse River. The capture of St. Vith was crucial for the German timetable. Delay there could spell disaster for their entire offensive. Defending St. Vith was a hastily assembled force of American soldiers, many of them exhausted from weeks of fighting. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and unprepared for the onslaught that awaited them. But these men, imbued with the fighting spirit of the American soldier, were determined to hold the line. Among the defenders was the 106th Infantry Division, nicknamed the Golden Lions. They had arrived in the Ardennes only days before, expecting a period of rest and refitting. Instead, they found themselves thrust into the heart of a maelstrom. Leading the German spearhead was the 1st SS Panzer Division, commanded by the ruthless and ambitious SS Standartenführer Joachim Peiper. Peiper, known for his daring and brutality, was tasked with capturing the bridges over the Meuse River, a crucial objective for the entire German offensive. Peiper's division boasted a formidable array of armored vehicles. Among them were the fearsome Tiger II heavy tanks, virtually impervious to Allied anti-tank weapons. These steel behemoths, armed with the deadly 88mm gun, struck terror into the hearts of Allied tankers. The American defenders, facing this onslaught of German armor, fought with incredible bravery and tenacity. Armed with Sherman tanks and M10 tank destroyers, they inflicted heavy casualties on the advancing Germans. But the American tanks were outclassed by their German counterparts. The Sherman, while reliable, lacked the firepower and armor of the Panther and Tiger tanks. Section 5. A city under siege. As the German offensive gained momentum, St. Vith found itself surrounded. The once peaceful town was now a strategic focal point, drawing the full might of the German war machine. The town became a cauldron of fire and steel. Explosions rocked the streets, and smoke billowed into the sky, creating a scene of utter devastation. German artillery pounded American positions relentlessly. The barrage was unending, a constant reminder of the enemy's overwhelming firepower. Waves of infantry assaulted American lines, only to be met with a hail of bullets and grenades. The defenders were determined to hold their ground, no matter the cost. The defenders of St. Vith, despite being outnumbered and outgunned, fought with extraordinary courage. Their resilience became a symbol of hope and defiance. They knew that their stand was buying precious time for Allied reinforcements to arrive. Every decision, every move was critical in the grand scheme of the battle. Every hour, every minute that they held on delayed the German advance and brought the Allies closer to victory. The clock was ticking, and every second counted. One of the key figures in the defense of St. Vith was Major Paul J. Solis, commander of the 424th Infantry Regiment. His leadership was instrumental in the town's defense. Solis, a charismatic and inspirational leader, rallied his men and organized a tenacious defense. His presence on the battlefield was a beacon of strength and determination. Despite heavy losses and dwindling supplies, Solis and his men held their ground. Their unwavering spirit and relentless defense became a testament to their bravery and sacrifice. Section 6. The Ghost Panthers. To add to the chaos, the Germans employed a cunning deception tactic. They used captured American tanks and uniforms to infiltrate American lines. These Ghost Panzers sowed confusion and panic among the American defenders. Identifying friend from foe became a nightmare. The Ghost Panzers struck at vulnerable supply lines and command posts. They spread disinformation and disrupted communication. The psychological impact of this tactic was significant, eroding the morale of already exhausted American troops. The deception was eventually uncovered, but not before causing considerable damage. The incident highlighted the German army's tactical ingenuity, even in the face of overwhelming odds. It also demonstrated the importance of clear communication and battlefield awareness in the fog of war. Section 7. Delaying the inevitable. Despite their heroic resistance, the defenders were losing battle. The town was surrounded, supplies were running low, ammunition was dwindling. The German noose was tightening. On December 21st, after 6 days of intense fighting, the order was given. Exhausted defenders, having inflicted heavy casualties on the enemy and bought crucial time for Allied reinforcements, fought their way out of the encirclement. They accomplished this under the cover of with them. The withdrawal from St. Vith, while a tactical defeat, was a testament to the tenacity and courage of the American soldier. They had held on against overwhelming German timetable and buying precious time for their comrades. The stand at St. Vith had bought crucial time, allowing the Allies to organize a counteroffensive. Section 8. A costly victory. The German victory at St. Vith was Pyrrhic. They had captured the town, but at a heavy cost. The delay caused by the stubborn American defense threw their entire offensive off schedule. The Battle of St. Vith had bought precious time for the Allies to regroup and reinforce. The tenacious defense of St. Vith had a profound impact on the course of the Bulge. It significantly delayed the German advance, preventing them from exploiting their initial success. This delay proved crucial, allowing Allied reinforcements to arrive and ultimately repulse the German offensive. The Battle of the Bulge would rage on for another month, marked by fierce fighting and heavy casualties on both sides. But the German offensive, blunted by the heroic stand at St. Vith, had lost its momentum. The end of the war in Europe was in sight. Section 9. Legacy of the Bulge. The Battle of the Bulge, and the stand at St. Vith in particular, stands as a testament to the courage and tenacity of the American soldier. This battle, fought in the harsh winter of 1944 to 1945, was one of the largest and bloodiest battles fought by the United States during World War II. Facing overwhelming odds, they fought with determination and bravery, buying crucial time for their comrades and ultimately contributing to the Allied victory in Europe. The resilience and fortitude displayed by these soldiers under such dire circumstances were nothing short of extraordinary. The Battle of the Bulge serves as a reminder of the human cost of war. The freezing conditions, the relentless enemy attacks, and the sheer scale of the conflict left an indelible mark on all who were involved. The battlefields of the Ardennes were witness to incredible acts of bravery and self-sacrifice on both sides. Stories of soldiers risking their lives to save their comrades and of units holding their ground against overwhelming forces are numerous and inspiring. It is a story of courage under fire, of resilience in the face of adversity, and of the enduring spirit of those who fought for freedom. The legacy of their actions continues to inspire future generations. The sacrifices made at St. Vith and throughout the Bulge should never be forgotten. These acts of heroism and sacrifice are etched into the annals of history. They serve as a powerful reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of striving for peace. The memorials and cemeteries stand as solemn tributes to those who gave their all. The Battle of the Bulge stands as a stark reminder of the horrors of war and the enduring human spirit that can triumph even in the darkest of times. It is a chapter of history that underscores the resilience and bravery of those who fought and the lasting impact of their sacrifice.